Alright, so I am making this video because I was asked to and requested of the Demonflame Studio original Abyss Knight statue. Heads up, this is not a professional video. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I don't have sophisticated camera equipment. This is just me on my cell phone kind of giving a nice overview of this piece, since a lot of people would like to see it and learn more about it because it is kind of expensive. But yeah, let's get started. I originally paid $1,400 for this. I got it imported from China. I found a really good seller, and I'm incredibly impressed with it. It was one of the first things Demonflame Studios put out, even before the Cosertoys Abyss Knight statue, which, as you can see right here, this is the one that came out fairly recently, about like a year or so ago. That's fully posable and comes with this. This is its predecessor right here. As you can see, it has a couple different pieces, the skeletons that will go and fit in the base. This is actually a little bust that came with it, which I was super excited about because I've never actually seen that before. I didn't know it was coming with it, and I thought that was a nice touch to this entire kit. Anyway, let us get started in putting this all together. Alright, so starting with the skeletons, one of the unique things they did was, you can see the pegs on the bottom. They actually match up to the pegs over here in the statue. And you can see that's a round peg. Let's see if I can show you the square one. If you can actually see it in the base. Let's get really close. But it's down right in there. That's the square peg, and you can see it matches up to this skeleton right here, so it makes it a lot easier to put the figures in. So this is not a professional video, so I apologize to anyone. I'm just trying to do this because I was asked to do it, so I can show off some of the statue. And it fits right there. You have this sword piece. It goes right into this slot. Get which way? It's this way. The other way. It's been a while since I put this together, so. I have this little hand right here. It's right there. And then we got this guy right here. His foot has an attachment that goes right into this base, so yeah, it looks like the skeleton is flying away from his hand. Give me a moment. This is going to take two hands to do. Yep, sorry about that. But you see how his foot swings right into there. And it comes out right behind the horse. Now we have Death himself. Death has two pieces. You see the torso here, and then you also have the abyssal armor. This goes on first, right up in here. So fit that in nicely. And Death sits right on top of that. Be very careful. This is a very fragile statue. I can't emphasize this enough. This piece fits in fairly loosely. So definitely you want to keep this away from small children and avoid excessive handling, because he will fall out. So he just kind of sits right in there, but that's hit the wrong button. But you see he sits right in there. He's not as connected securely as I would like him to be. That is one of the things I will say about this statue. It is incredibly fragile. This mane is super fragile. The feathers, the feather flames down here are very fragile. Even Despair himself, this is like the biggest main contact point for the statue holding onto the base is this back, is that foot in the back there. This sort of fits into a nice slot, but this isn't the main thing connecting it. So even Despair kind of sits a bit precariously onto this base. So that is, again, can't emphasize this enough. Keep this away from small children and avoid excessive handling and moving, because it is very, very delicate. But the base itself is fantastic. You got this beautiful the head of the Guardian, made by the makers, with all these rocks and all the skeletons in between. Absolutely fabulous detail. Let's see if I can maneuver around a bit. Not breaking anything. And Death has the abyssal armor. There's his markings. Scythes are excellent. These are the Chaos Fang scythes. Excellent detail. Come all around there. And this is a huge piece. Like, I can't emphasize this enough. This is a big, big statue. There's his hair. Armor. Jewels. Give me one moment. I'm going to bring, actually, comparison, the Sota Death on Despair statue into focus, and you'll see a really good size comparison of how big they are together. Alright, so I've moved. This is the Death and Despair Sota figure, and this is its size in comparison to the Demonflame Studio. As you can see, the Demonflame Studio just is absolutely ginormous. It towers over it. It is about twice the size. The downside is, while the Sota Studio Death and Despair lights up, this one does not. However, there are, similar to the Abyss Knight, there are UV accents. Alright, I moved everything, trying to really see. Let's see if we can show off some of those accents. I know it's daylight and I have a huge window behind me. Yeah, you can see the glowing eyes. There's accents on the armor. Yeah, there we go. Really good. Nice highlights going on there. You can see his eye. Very nice. Some around the back there. So, may not light up, but you do still have some of those really nice accents that help this piece really pop and stand out. Here's also probably a better view of the comparison between the two statues of Demonflame and Sota. Apologize for the light. But yeah, you can just see that size difference. Alright, trying to move everything away from the light. But overall, do I think this statue is worth the $1,400? Absolutely. Like, it has so much detail. It really is incomparable. I will make a note that it is incredibly, incredibly heavy. So this is not something that you can put on just any shelf. Make sure that it is definitely a load-bearing shelf. Personally, I have a very heavy set bookcase that is reinforced that for this piece, because I don't want anything happening to it. Yeah, just look at that hair. Like, look at that amount of detail in there. Absolutely stunning. So if you were ever unsure whether or not you wanted to buy this, I would say if you're a Darksiders fan, go ahead. It is absolutely worth the money. You will not be disappointed in what you are getting. The box is pretty unimpressive. It's just a brown box with a Darksiders logo sticker on it. But that's just a minor thing, I'd say. Other than that, yeah. Can't say enough good things about this piece. So hopefully this helps you make a better informed purchase. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Feel free to ask me any questions and leave a comment if you like. Alright, bye.